Hello and welcome back. My name is Jocelyn and I have been so excited to share with you my ceremony, and it was truly a transformational experience. So why did I decide to do a mushroom ceremony? It was honestly on my heart to do mushrooms since doing ayahuasca. They say when you do these plant medicines, there's always a calling, like you feel called by the medicine, by the plant. And for me, I have been feeling called by mushrooms for about a year now to just sit with it. And my friend Jonathan actually reached out to me a few months ago. We reconnected and we were just talking, and then he told me about this woman. Her name is Nati, and she's from Colombia, and she does mushroom ceremonies. And just hearing his experience, telling me about her energy, I just was so excited. I told Anthony, and we were both down. We were just so ready to do it. So I felt like it was going to be more of a gentle experience. When I did ayahuasca, it was a tough one for me, honestly. I did get so many insights and I felt really open afterwards, but during it was very tough. Mushrooms tends to be more visuals, more gentler, more inviting. So that for me felt like something I wanted to do next. Oh, hey, Jared. The mushroom ceremony is called the hummingbird ceremony because there's three parts to it. It was the mushrooms, it was the hot cacao that is heart opening, as well as the rape. So all of that combined, they call it the hummingbird ceremony. And the point of the ceremony is to connect to your heart, to connect to your higher chakras, to connect to your throat chakra, and to connect with yourself deeply. And just to get to the mushroom ceremony, it felt like it was just an adventure. I was prepping for it for about mentally a few months before, and then leading up to it, I did a special diet where I was basically vegetarian, vegan, didn't eat any animal products, really tried to stay as clean as possible because I wanted to provide my vessel an opportunity to experience the whole mushroom trip in the deepest form. I learned from doing ayahuasca. I actually have a video on that and I'll link it down below. When I did ayahuasca, I learned that when you eat certain animal products, when you are eating animal products, that you are taking in the animal's essence, and that could affect your trip. Nothing crazy, but I just really wanted to have such a deep connection with myself, to connect with the plant as much as I possibly could. So for me, my spirit, my soul was asking for me to be vegetarian. Eating more nutrient dense meals really brought me back to remembering how much I love veggies, like how much I love being healthy and really digging into finding things that are gonna give my body nutrients. Like I truly forgot that. Not to say I was not eating vegetables or fruits these past years, but I was more based on like macros, doing a carb, doing a protein and a fat. But I wasn't really focused on like greens, microgreens, like having that more throughout my day. So just being on that diet alone and allowing myself to connect with plants before I connected with a plant, it really made my stomach, it made my mind. I felt more energized, and now I have like a healthy balance where I'm still eating meat, but I'm also like really focused on just bringing more nutritious meals back into my diet. And I am so happy. The mushroom ceremony was in East Hampton, and that from me is about a 2-hour drive. Me and my husband went to the mushroom ceremony together. This was both of our first times doing a mushroom ceremony. I've done mushrooms in the past, but it was more recreationally. And doing it recreationally versus doing it ceremony-wise is very different. So when I got to East Hampton with my husband Anthony, we pulled up to this really cute cabin. It was honestly so perfect. It was a all wooden cabin, pine trees all around us. It just felt so beautiful. I just loved it, and it just gave such hippie, such loving, such peace vibes that I was like, okay, we are in the best place possible. So upon arrival, upon walking in, they took our things from us. We immediately handed our cell phones to the women that were helping the shaman. It was all women that were facilitating the experience. So I went into it expecting that the past couple years I have really been trying to build my business and create more abundance in my life. And the abundance comes, but not at the amount that I have been visualizing. And what it brought me was something completely different. It showed me that I had to be more still, I had to be more present, I had to have more fun and enjoy life again. For the past year, I have been feeling disconnected from my spirituality, and it was very challenging for me. There was moments in my year that I felt like I didn't even want to be here anymore. I felt like there was such a spiritual warfare that fell over me in the past year and a half, and I needed something to help me just move the energy. And mushrooms did just that. I'm so happy that I did it because I was just feeling very stuck. I was feeling like I couldn't connect to my spirituality no matter what I did. The practices that I used to do all the time, like journaling and meditating, was not giving me the same effects, or I didn't feel very connected no matter how much I tried. Mushroom ceremony itself. We started the ceremony with doing rape. And rape is a sacred plant medicine that's gently blown through the nose to bring you fully into the present moment. Yes, for sure. Like wholeheartedly, it does that. And the way she described it, it was like it it releases the diarrhea from the mind. And I felt like when I went up there, when she gave it to me, the first one, it literally felt like my mind was literally wiped clean. Like that was so unexpected. It was so intense. I feel like I remember it so deeply. That is something I will never forget in my life, honestly. It was so intense, but it was so good. It literally cleared my freaking mind. And the second one was not as bad because it gets administered through both of your nostrils. So when she gave me the rape, I went directly to the spot that I chose in the cabin. I had to find something to just like keep me here. And I was present, but the feeling that I felt, it was like I could only feel my lower chakra centers. Like I felt my whole stomach. And it was at that moment that I realized how much I have been living in my mind this past year and a half. Because when I was sitting there, I was trying to like think other thoughts and it would not let me. It got so intense where I was so present that I got very anxious, which is crazy because to think like becoming very anxious because you're super present, that told me that I have been living out of presence for a while. Yes, I'll have moments where I feel present in my day, but that was just like a long stream of just being here without having thoughts other than like being completely in my body. I do practice every day being in my body, regulating my nervous system, but this was like another level. And it was at that moment that I recognized that I was like, I don't know if I could do mushrooms. Like this was like a slap in the face. This was intense. This was wow. It really brought me here. Like, what am I gonna do for the ceremony? And then I had a little pep talk with myself, and I had to remind myself to surrender to the moment, and that everything was gonna be okay, and that I was gonna do it. We were administered the rapid and immediately given the mushrooms probably like 10 minutes later. It did show me so many beautiful things. It showed me the first thing I saw was my husband's face. I saw Anthony in my mind's eye. I had my eyes closed and I just saw Anthony's face. It just came into vision, and I just saw his face and the way he looks at me with so much love in his eyes. And I could just feel all the love that he gives me and how much love that he has for me. I could feel it like pouring out of his eyes to me, and it just made me start crying so much. I was just crying. Like, he was on the other side of the room. They did separate women and men from each other to keep our energies separate. And with just seeing his face and like recognize like how much he loves me without conditions, without wanting anything, and just basically like how I was taught love is given or what love is. I could just feel it in my heart, and like just thinking about it right now, like I kind of get emotional because it just felt very intense, like an intense form of love. And immediately after, I felt my mom's love. Like I saw my mom came into my mind. And then I started to see all the many ways that she loves me and that she shares, holds space for me, and really does her best to show up for me, not just like supporting me, but just showing up for herself, and how she loves herself also shows me how to love myself. And it teaches me so much. So like just seeing both of them, and then I started seeing my family, and I just started recognizing how much love is all around me. And I feel like there's love all around everybody. Like there's love all around all of us. And sometimes we could get so caught up in our days that we forget, or we don't see it, or we don't appreciate it to the depths that we could possibly be appreciating it. And it was just so heartwarming and beautiful. And I just, yeah, I just kept crying and bawling, and just seeing all the people I want to continue to love, and recognize also why I recognize I keep people at a distance, just allowing their love in and feeling it with the mushrooms. I saw that I keep people's love at a distance because I am afraid of losing them. I'm afraid of losing them to death. Like if somebody were to die, I feel fear to let down that wall and allow somebody in. If they die, then I'll be heartbroken, I'll fall to pieces. And this reminds me of a time when my mom, she was dating a woman, and she was very much in love with her, and the woman passed away so suddenly. She got into a car accident, and I never seen my mother break down and cry like that in my life. And I was like, I will never do that. I saw when I made that pact with myself that I would never open up my heart. And looking back, I see how much I kind of started stepping away from my family. And I love my family. My family is like the best family I could have ever asked for. I see how I've been kind of keeping them at arm's length, so I wouldn't open my heart too much, because if I open my heart too much and they die, then am I gonna die? Am I gonna crumble? I recognize that this was just such a faulty way of thinking, because if I keep them at his distance and they pass away, they die, I would have never been able to really hold them close to me and really appreciate them and really connect to them in such deep ways. So that was very eye-opening. Something else that came up for me that was it was very hard to believe. It was something that helped me see why I've been afraid to share more online, even though this is something I love to do. This is something I feel like I was born to do. I was given a message that communication, learning how to communicate, learning how to share my voice, learning how to show up and be seen, that is one of my callings. I was shown that many years ago. I want to say now like 8 years ago, I was shown that. And everything leads back to my communication and sharing. When I was about 13, 14 years old, I moved to Florida from New York. And when I moved to Florida, I was trying to connect with kids and make new friends. And I had an opportunity to go to somebody's party. Like it was like a get together. I remember getting so excited, getting pretty, getting dressed up. The lady that used to take care of me at the time, so I just realized that my mic was not working, so we're just gonna continue on like this. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like the lady that used to take care of me, she lent me her clothes and we went to drop me off at this kid's party. Once we got there, we recognized that there was no parents around, and she got worried. She started asking questions. She asked me to ask those questions, and they recognized like, oh wow, she's a parent, she's asking all these questions, like it's best that if you go. They did tell me like, oh no, like don't worry about it, we're not going to be here very long, you don't have to stay, you could go. And that to me at that age, 13 or 14, was so crushing. I completely blocked that out of my memory. I thought that was a dream all along, but it was a real thing that happened to me. I saw in my memory myself getting back in the car and being upset and just kind of pushing away the feeling of being upset. I saw myself pushing away the feeling of being sad, and I just got angry. Me, myself right now went back to that time, and I just held myself and I cried for that version of myself. I think I didn't cry that day, and I allowed myself to cry for that version of myself and gave myself love for the rejection that I felt, and just being with myself, holding myself, seeing myself, not even trying to fix it, just being there. And that showed me why I've been afraid to show up or allow myself to be seen, the fear of rejection. And that was just very healing, just being able to witness that. I also had many moments where I was given the message, the deep message of be still, be still, be still, be still. I was actually journaling like the whole time, and it just like I'll start having thoughts and the thought would lead to be still. And it was just really showing me that I don't have to do so much. Like the things that I need are already inside of me. And we've all heard this before, right? Like whatever you need, it's already inside of you. But in this world where we believe consumerism, like we have to keep consuming, we have to look outside of ourselves to get the thing that we want, it's really inside of us. And that was something that was really shown to me. Like everything I need, all the joy that I want, the things I want to attract, I have it inside. And I was able to see a lot how much I need to take care of my body more. That was a message that kept coming up for me, was take care of your body as well. And they literally go hand in hand, because like now it's been a month. I've been meditating more. I've been doing a lot of Eckhart Tolle's meditations, just being in silence with him for like 20 to 30 minutes in the morning. Sometimes I'll do it like when I get home from work. And that has helped me find a lot of space in my mind, where if I'm seeing a lot of thoughts come up, I could recognize like, oh, that's not me. That thought's not me. Oh, that's just like another thought I'm having, but it's not me. I was becoming very identified to my thoughts. So having that space with the meditation has been so helpful. Also, doing a lot of yoga, like yin yoga, it's like more slower. You're doing more slow stretches, has helped me release a lot of tension in my body. Feeling stressed, feeling depressed, feeling just a lot of tension. Allowing myself to sit through yoga and reconnect with my body in this way has been so like delicious. It's been feeling so good. I remember when I first started doing yoga, I started in 2020, and that was during COVID, and it helped me release a lot. It helped me like get out of a relationship that I knew was not serving or working for me whatsoever. It was going against everything I wanted. And yoga was just it was so grounding. It's such a grounding thing. It's a somatic practice, so it helps you get into your body. So it's meditation and yoga has helped me slow down and get more into my body and start being present, like just being here. And I've been feeling more of my heart opening when I'm doing yoga. I get little downloads of like the things I need to look at. My intuition is getting stronger. And there was a really beautiful moment where I was just like crying a lot during the ceremony, and it felt like a faucet was turned on. It felt like I could even like feel like, you know, in your tear ducts when you're crying, you could feel like a little bloop like coming out. I wasn't feeling that. I was literally feeling like it just felt like a waterfall. It felt so soft and soothing, and it was just coming out, and I was just crying. I was just crying for like, I felt like it was like sorrow, like for something, I forget what, but it was just very deep. And I just was releasing all the pain, the sadness I've been feeling, and it was really good. It was so good for me. I kept telling myself the theme was to surrender. So every time I would feel like my body, when you're doing mushrooms, for myself anyways, I don't know if other people experience this, but I feel like a heaviness, like my body feels like it's trying to be pulled down. And usually like in the past, I would try to like resist that feeling, and I was like surrender. And when I would surrender, like a new message would be shown to me. So when I was like releasing in that way, there was a moment that Anthony came back from going to the bathroom. So he like walked across the room and he looked at me. He got into his yoga mat and took off his sweater. He had a shirt underneath, And then he just like looked at me with the smirk that he does. And then he leaned back. And before he like leaned back, I just like saw his bicep. Like I just saw like a part of his bicep, and he is really fit. So I was like, mm. I was like, yes. And I just started laughing to myself because I was like, I'm over here healing and I'm over here also like lusting over my man. And it was just so funny. I started laughing. Like it was first a chuckle and then it literally turned into a roar where I was just like, I could not stop laughing. I was laughing so much that people were looking at me, and my laugh also like infected some other people in the room. There must have been like probably 15 of us in the room all together. And Nati and Kathy and the other woman that was facilitating, they were laughing with me. They were just dying laughing, and it was just so heart opening. And it just reminded me how when you allow yourself to feel those really intense pains, like those really intense emotions, like sadness, sorrow, wallowing, just those really tough emotions that we really don't want to feel. When you allow yourself to feel that in its entirety, then you could also experience deep feelings of joy. I read this book and I'll never forget it. It's called The Constructive Ways of Wallowing, something like that. I'll link it down below. But that book taught me, because for many years I was very numb. I couldn't feel feelings of happiness. This was many years ago, probably like actually not many years. It was actually like 5 years ago. I couldn't feel anything. I was just so like numb. And my mom gave me that book, and I was able to like feel happy and like feel joy and feel so many like good things in my life. So that's what that reminded me, like allowing myself to feel that sorrow, those feel the pain, feel sad, allowed me to have that moment of just feeling so euphoric and just laughing and like not caring that other people didn't get it. I think a thing I have is I want people to understand me completely, and I want to explain it. But I was just allowing whatever came up to come up, and that felt so good. It was just so like such a deep belly laugh, and it felt so healing and so soothing, and it was just exactly what I needed. I think to sum up everything is that it really taught me about love, about joy, brought me more closer to myself. It's helped me remember a lot of the things that I have kind of forgotten, and I've connected back with my nutrition, just eating more nutrient dense foods, which I've been feeling so much better now in my day. My gut health feels better. I have been doing yoga, I have been doing meditation, and not as like a checkbox, something I have to check off the list. I listen to myself now. I'm like, what does my body need? What does my mind need? Not just like, okay, what is this routine I need to do? Check, because that feels so monotonous after a while. I really am happy that I got to experience it right before the new year, because it felt like it released so much of the things that I've been carrying the past like 2 years. And it really stood with me, things I did in the past, and like allowing myself to forgive myself and to see that I'm not a bad person, to see that I am good. Sometimes we get these ideas stuck in our minds, and I feel like mushrooms really did heal my heart, and I am really looking forward to the next time. But until then, I'm really enjoying everything that's been unfolding. I feel more productive in the sense of being more present. It's so like such a trippy idea that I'm slowing down more and I feel more productive. Where in my previous, I felt like I had to do so many different things to feel productive. So now that I'm slowing down and I'm being present and I'm not worried all the time, I could feel like I'm attracting the things I need to attract into my life and taking more purposeful action versus just being busy. It was such a beautiful experience. Please let me know what you thought of this video. If you have any questions, if you've been thinking about doing mushrooms, what do you think about the mushroom experience? This is just my experience. I feel like everybody had the experience they needed to have, and I feel very grateful that afterwards we were able to walk around and really share our experiences. I'm going to share some clips right here of like the winter wonderland that was in the vicinity where we did our ceremony, and it just felt like there's so much love around, and I felt like it was literally the perfect end to the evening. I hope to see you soon. I love you, and I will talk to you very soon. Mwah. Bye. Take care.